Back with you for our second of two third-place games today on KNDB TV. Time for the boys' affair between the Mitchell Tigers and the Hemingford Bobcats. Let's take a look at how both these teams got here. Taking first a look at the visitors on the scoreboard, the Mitchell Tigers, who almost pulled off the upset of the top seed Kimball Longhorns yesterday in overtime. 71-69 was your final in that one in your second to last game of the day yesterday. And before that, they beat Baird on Thursday on the road as they were seeded number 5 coming into this tournament. We're the Mitchell Tigers. Let's meet those starters for the Tigers first. Clayton Schultz, Creed Cheney, Clayton Thomas, Xavier Galloway, and Wayman Banks. The same 5 as yesterday for the Mitchell Tigers. Once again, Schultz, Cheney, Thomas, Galloway, and Banks for the Mitchell Tigers. Meanwhile, on the other end of the floor, it's the Hemingford Bobcats coming into this one after losing to Bridgeport yesterday, 83-39. Before that, Hemingford was able to get a win over Gordon Rushville in an overtime thriller on their home floor as they had to survive as the number 3 seed against the number 6 seed earlier in this tournament. Let's meet the starters now for the Bobcats of Hemingford. Jacob Reiner, Carson Haas, Tayton Haas, Anthony Haas, and Talon Payne. Your 5 for the Bobcats as they get set for this third place matchup once again here at Cougar Palace. In the back half of the day now, as we get into the last of these third place and consolation games. After this, it's the championship matchups between Bridgeport and Kimball coming your way after the conclusion of this one. On the girls' side to lead things off, then the boys and the night, beginning at approximately 6:30. Starters have been announced. Mitchell back out there in the road oranges that they rocked yesterday. Meanwhile, Hemingford out there in the road whites that they will now go to the circle as this Jacob Reiner facing off against Xavier Galloway. So we're set to go for basketball here at Cougar Palace. Last third place game of the day. It's Galloway facing off against Jacob Reiner in the circle. Reiner wins the tip, and Tayton Haas at the controls for Hemingford. Talon Payne, left side. Carson Haas to Anthony Haas. Anthony drives baseline, kicks it. Talon Payne. Now Tayton Haas flips it back to Payne. Payne down the left side, blocked away by Galloway. Payne battered around. Galloway gets it back. Down the floor, Clayton Thomas. Back to the top, Clayton Schultz. Poked away by Carson Haas. Carson to the bucket, up and through, and a foul going to be called. Xavier Galloway caught the body of Carson Haas, and Carson Haas will come to the line for 2. So Xavier Galloway with the first foul of this contest. Carson Haas to the line. Carson swishes the first one, 40% free throw shooter on the season. Carson yesterday finished the game with 6 points in that loss against Bridgeport. Carson second on the way, knocks down the pair to open up scoring in this one. 2-0 Hemingford over Mitchell. Now near side, Clayton Thomas. Thomas to Briner. Briner poked away. Steal for Hemingford. Anthony Haas. Long 3, make it Carson Haas. Heaves a 3 off the mark. Rebounded by Talon Payne on a hop. Tayton Haas now at the controls. Tayton hands back to Briner. They like that flip pass on the elbow. Briner lowers the shoulder. Now back to Haas. Tayton drives left side. Tayton gets Banks to fall on top of him. And it's going to be a travel on Tayton Haas before the shot. 2-0 your score here at Cougar Palace, third place boys game. Clayton Thomas. Back to Clayton Schultz. Schultz near side against Carson Haas. That one almost poked away by Anthony Haas, but Cheney has it and is poked away now by Tayton Haas. It will stay with the Bobcats. Schultz now underneath the basket. He surveys, it's a box look. Now Banks in the corner. To the top it goes to Cheney. Cheney, and that one poked away by Anthony Haas. Anthony frustrated, he just batted that one away, didn't grab it. So now to the top it goes. Clayton Thomas, now Cheney. Cheney crossover now. Schultz near side into the corner. Cheney stuck, flings it back to the top to Thomas. Galloway. Look at the right block, blocked away by Briner, but a foul. So Jacob Briner will be called for the first foul on the Hemingford side, and Xavier Galloway to the line.
Foul on number 1 for Hemingford, Jacob Briner. His first, Xavier Galloway.
So Galloway to the line. Got poked in the eye last night, checked it to make sure he was all good. Said it hurt a little this morning, but feeling okay today. Galloway's first is through. 29% free throw shooter on the year. Xavier yesterday finished with 9 points. And that loss to Kimball in overtime. Second for Galloway on the way, sinks it. Knotted up 2 apiece. Briner up the floor, gets it to Anthony Haas. Anthony driving right, now Talon Payne, left side, left hand, can't convert at point blank range. Rebounded by Cheney, down the floor Thomas to Schultz near side. Schultz gets by his defender. Schultz across the court, Thomas in the corner. 3 on the way for Clayton Thomas, can't connect. Rebounded at the free throw line by Carson Haas. Carson working against Schultz. Crossover, poked away by Schultz. Anthony Haas scoops it up. Haas near side, Briner back to the top, Tayton Haas. Tayton pulls up for a long 2. Tayton can't convert. Galloway rips down the rebound while he elevates. Near side, Xavier Galloway at the attack line. Uriel Jimenez waiting to check in for Mitchell. Schultz. Galloway. Down low, Banks, right block, got by his defender and through for the first field goal of the contest. Tayton Haas almost lost that one, corralled it. Carson Haas thought about a 3, didn't take it. Now he'll reset the offense. Flips back Briner, college 3 on the way, can't convert. Ripped down by Galloway. Galloway behind his back to Schultz, almost like he threw it out of bounds for a second. Now it's Cheney to Schultz. Now Galloway. Back to Schultz. Zane Feist waiting to check in. That ball poked up. Banks rips it down. And now it almost poked away from Banks. Now Thomas into the corner. Cheney's 3 on the way. Off the side of the iron. Schultz rebound up and under. Won't fall. Tayton Haas with the rebound. And now the ball poked away from Tayton. It's loose. Schultz gets it. Schultz gets it to Galloway. Galloway pull up 3 on the way. Left it short. Rebounded by Schultz. Now a bounce pass, cutting Thomas, and he's fouled as he goes up. So Clayton Thomas now to the line for Mitchell. On a messy possession for Hemingford. Anthony Haas picks up his first foul. 2 fouls for Hemingford as a team. Thomas's first, flings it in and out. Norman Coley, Zane Feist into the game. Coley for Mitchell, Feist for Hemingford. Banks out of the contest. Alongside Talon Payne. Thomas's second, swirls it and drops it. And now Uriel Jimenez will check in for Clayton Thomas. Carson Haas, nearly trapped in the corner, gets it to Briner. Briner up the floor, Carson Haas. Carson to Feist. Feist up the floor, Tayton Haas. Tayton flings a 3, way too strong. Galloway grabs it off the floor and flips it to Michael Placencio. Far side of the floor, Jimenez. Jimenez gets it back to Cheney, into the corner. 3 on the way, Placencio drains it from the corner. Placencio, first 3 of the day on either side, 8-2, Mitchell. Feist hands off, Tayton Haas. Back to Feist, out to Tayton. Tayton to the free throw line, kicks out, Anthony Haas, hands off to Carson. Carson, look at 3, flings it, can't knock it down, rebound. Will go against, and the foul underneath will go against Zane Feist as Placencio pulls down the rebound. And a full timeout for Hemingford. Will take one with him. Back after this.
services to other companies. Allo's next-gen firewalls have allowed us to tie 6 physical locations together along with numerous remote employees to produce and collaborate and generate content for our local radio group. It is very important for Nebraska Rural Radio Association to have the best in internet and phone service. We rely upon that every single day. Allo provided me with a solution that fit our needs. They have a quality product, great technical support, and a local presence in their community.
Changing leaf colors means yard work. Your friends at Tri-City Stormwater wants to remind you of the proper way to dispose of fallen leaves. Leaves make great mulch for trees and bushes and compost for future gardens. The city also has yard waste bins, so they can dispose of all your leaves at the city compost facility. Always keep your leaves out of the gutters. Not only do they cause clogging and flooding, they can pollute our waterways by causing nutrient overload. So keep your yard looking good and your drinking water safe, because it's our water, our responsibility.
Back with you for our boys' third place game. Hemingford and Mitchell battling. Mitchell winning right now 8-2. As Placencio brings it into the front court for the Tigers, has it poked out from behind. Will stay with Mitchell. So James Billingsley into the contest out of that timeout, alongside Christopher Klein. Norman Coley has it, left wing. Now Placencio. Placencio right side, Billingsley. Billingsley head fake drives, kick out Jimenez. Jimenez 3 on the way, can't knock it down. Near side, Placencio gets the rebound, middle of the lane. Now Jimenez. Jimenez drives, flicks it over the top. Coley. Coley's left hand lays it in from the left side. Norman Coley, easy 2 for the junior. Beautiful ball movement by the Tigers on that possession as Hemingford back to the offensive side of the floor. Carson Haas to the hoop, lays it in. Carson Haas can go for plenty. Broke the school record for points in the game in a semifinal in the pack against Crawford earlier this season. Earliel Jimenez near side. Back to Billingsley. Billingsley fake and a travel going to be called on James. So Anthony Haas now up the floor for Hemingford, trailing by 6. Tayton hands off to Briner. Briner flicks it to Haas. Haas, mid-range jumper, can't lay it in over the side of the iron. It rolls to the other side to Placencio. Placencio drives down the right side, lost the ball as he goes down, and that's going to go to the Hemingford side of the floor. Clayton Thomas and Wayman Banks in for Mitchell, for Coley and Jimenez. Haas now to Anthony Haas. The great thing about broadcasting Hemingford basketball games is that if you say Haas, there's a 60% chance you're right at any given time. Feist down on the right baseline. That pass intercepted nearly by Klein. Briner gets it back. Now Briner, middle of the lane. Tayton Haas. Tayton from the left side with the right hand knocks it in. Tayton's first 2 for the senior. 10-6. Hemingford fighting their way back in. Clayton Thomas now near side. Bounce pass to the corner. Christopher Klein. Klein. Long pass to the top. Placencio. Placencio's tray won't fall. Rebound goes to Thomas after it was batted around. Banks. Corner. Flings it. Placencio. Placencio make it Billingsley. Drives. Bottom of the iron. He throws it. Rebounded by Briner. Jace Haas and Talon Payne waiting to check back in for Hemingford, and Xavier Galloway to that mix, and Clayton Schultz on the Mitchell side. Anthony Haas to the bucket, can't get it to drop. Banks rips it down with aggression. Placencio calmly dribbles to the left wing, bounce pass down low, going to be a kick against Hemingford, will stay with Mitchell. Cree Cheney also back in there for Mitchell. As Schultz triggers it in. Cheney in the corner. 3 on the way. Can't knock it down off the inside of the cup. Spit back out. Briner hauls the rebound off the floor, and Tayton Haas now at the controls for the Bobcats. Haas hands it off to Haas. Brother to brother. Jace to Tayton. Now Tayton drives right side. Can't get it to drop. Jace elevates for the rebound. He's fouled on his putback. So Jace Haas to the line for the first time today after checking in not long ago. Looks like Xavier Galloway picks up his second. So Jace Haas at the line for his first free throws of the day. Jace on the year, 59% free throw percentage. Knocks down the first. Check that, just 5 for 9 coming into the tournament before play began on Thursday. This free throw would get Hemingford within 2. It won't here as Schultz plucks the rebound out of the sky for the Tigers. Near side, Cheney. Cheney across the court to Schultz. Schultz down low, Banks. Banks right block, up and easy off the glass between 2 defenders. Wayman Banks 4 points in the first quarter. 5-point advantage for Macon Mitchell. Tayton flips back to Talon, bounce backs back to Tayton. Right block, Tayton trying to dig in. Tayton blocked away by Banks, and it's going to be taken away by Cheney. Shot clock off, 17 seconds remaining. Schultz straight away, now Cheney. Cheney into the corner. Thomas back to Cheney, now Schultz. Schultz look at 3, fires one. Clayton Schultz can't connect. Tayton Haas rips down the rebound. 1 second left, Tayton Haas flings one down the floor. Tayton Haas can't connect, but he's been the closest one I've seen all weekend. We head to the second quarter. Hemingford and Mitchell battling. Mitchell leading by 5.
Place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
Life is crazy. Pain is stressful. How can anybody concentrate with these busy schedules? Now you can. This is Ben Moravec coming to you from Hydrozen, a float therapy business right here in Scottsbluff. I'm here today to let you know we now have memberships for $49 monthly. You can guarantee yourself at least 1 float per month. You know how floating keeps your muscles relaxed, your joints relieved, and your brain clear to think? Now you can float at a reduced rate each month. Inquire today at hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT. Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge.
Back with you for the second quarter of action between Hemingford and Mitchell. 12-7 your score, Tigers lead. Out of the quarter break, it'll be Cheney, Schultz, Banks, Klein, and Thomas for Mitchell. Meanwhile, for Hemingford, it's Haas, Briner, and Payne. I'll be honest, I send that just kind of expecting it to be and just happened to be right. Schultz drives, throws it right into the hands of Jacob Briner. Carson Haas, make that Anthony Haas, gets a screen from Tayton, and he's clear into the front court. Anthony hands off to Carson. Carson now drives, dribbles, splits defenders, can't convert. Cheney pulls down the rebound. Haas trying to take it away from Cheney. This one batted away. Anthony Haas pulls it down. Anthony Haas down the right side, stutter step move, can't convert. Tayton Haas can't track down the rebound. 12-7 your score now as Mitchell back to offense. Cheney near side. Back in Cheney's hands, swings it to Schultz. Now Banks to Thomas. Thomas dribbles, kicks it out top. Schultz 3 on the way. Schultz can't connect off the back of the cup. Tayton Haas taps it into the hands of Talon Payne. Jacob Briner at the controls now for the Bobcats. Left side, Tayton Haas. Flips it to Payne. Payne drives left side, can't convert. Rebounded by Cheney. Banks right elbow, kicks it out Cheney. Cheney fakes left, goes right, now Banks. Batted away by Carson Haas, master of that, getting into the backcourt. Carson Haas, and that's going to be a foul and a half on Wayman Banks. So Wayman Banks picks up his first. Norman Coley now into the contest, that's Wayman's first. So Coley waiting to check in. Carson Haas at the line. Carson opened up scoring with 2 free throws for Hemingford. Back for a second visit. First points of the second quarter belong to Carson Haas. Norman Coley in for Wayman Banks. Chase Haas also waiting to check in for Hemingford. He'll take the place of Carson Haas after his free throws are done. Carson second, off the front of the iron, batted around. Rebound goes to Schultz on the left side of the lane after the tip. Thomas, now Schultz. Schultz swings it to the corner, Cheney. Cheney across the court to Schultz. Schultz, Thomas. Thomas drives inside, kicks out Schultz. Schultz three on the way, can't convert, rattles the iron. Schultz has it now, near side rebound, and putback won't fall. Another chance, Christopher Klein fires it through. So Christopher Klein's first two. 14-8 your score in a low scoring contest through a quarter and a half nearly. And that ball's gonna stay with Hemingford. Jace Haas, Zane Feist in for the Bobcats. They take out Carson Haas and Jacob Briner. Carson Haas gets it to Tatum Haas, poked away by Christopher Klein. Klein into the backcourt. Klein pumps the brakes, flips it back to Thomas. Now Schultz, near side. Schultz to Thomas, make it Cheney. Cheney directs traffic, Coley back to Cheney. Cheney into the corner, Schultz. Schultz thought he had to look at three, now to Thomas. Thomas three on the way, can't knock it down. It's a hard to come by shot to drain right now for Mitchell. Just one three-pointer, they've been firing plenty. Anthony Haas, Tatum Haas. Tatum hands off, back to Feist, down low. Feist threw it into the feet of Tatum Haas. So it's a turnover for Hemingford as Mitchell gets it back. Klein kicks it out. Back to the top we go. Schultz fires a three. He finds it. Clayton Schultz, first three of the day. 17-8. That'll be key to Mitchell finding a way to pull one. See if Hemingford has an answer offensively yet. That ball poked away. Jace Haas back on it. And now Haas tries to throw it off of a Tiger's leg. Instead it's the turnover. Near side, Cheney. Cheney driving. Fakes across the lane. Blocked away by Tatum Haas. Flips it back to Cheney. Does Klein. Now Schultz. Schultz near side. Thomas kick back to Cheney. Now Coach Klein calls for them to set up the offense. 9-point advantage for Mitchell. Cheney has it the near side. Now Christopher Klein has it in the corner. Klein, bounce pass. There was a no-looker that almost sneaks into the backcourt. Schultz tracks it down and gets it to Cheney. Cheney now to Klein. Klein, three on the way. It's a knuckler. That poked around, no rim. So it's a shot clock violation as Carson Haas and Earliel Jimenez check into the contest. Also in for Mitchell is Michael Placencio. Haas hands off to Carson Haas. Haas looking back at Anthony. Now he finds Zane Feist. Feist drives through the middle. He goes. No touch at the hoop, though, as is a wide left. Mitchell back at the controls with a 9-point advantage. Jimenez now. Jimenez almost loses it, keeps it in front of him. Now Placencio. Beats Coley. Coley back out to Jimenez. Jimenez drives, right block, loses it. Ball still loose on the floor. On top of it is Feist. Feist still loose, gets back on top of it. And now Feist has to flip it, and it gets to Jimenez. Jimenez now back to offense goes Mitchell. A little chaotic. Now Thomas. Thomas drives, left side, gets it to go. Almost looked like a dunk for Clayton Thomas. An odd little motion, but it worked off the side of the iron. Payne now has it. Feeds Tatum Haas. Tatum to the top, Anthony Carson. Fakes the handoff, back to Carson Haas. Three for Carson on the way. Wedges it. Third time today we've seen a wedged ball. You'll go a season without seeing one. If you've been here at Cougar Palace, you've seen three in one day. Anthony Haas out of the contest. Jacob Briner back in there. So that's a jump ball that'll stay with Mitchell. Or stay with Hemingford, excuse me. 11-point advantage for Mitchell. As Carson Haas to the baseline. Gets it to Tatum Haas. Tatum right block. trying to work against Norman Coley. On the right side, Haas can't convert, ball poked around, Banks rips it down. Placencio with haste into the front court. Placencio loses it, throws it into the hands of the Hemingford student section. So Tayton Haas now brings it into the front court for Hemingford slowly. Hand off, Talon Payne. Payne, free throw line, picks it up, kicks out Briner. Briner to Carson Haas. Haas looking for an outlet, gets it to Briner. Briner almost loses it, goes into the hands of Talon Payne. Payne now short range jumper from the right side, gets it to go with the left hand. Talon Payne's first two. 19-10. Back to single digits for Mitchell's lead. Jimenez straight away, won't take it. Now he drives, loses it. Briner scoops it up. Briner against Coley. Briner pulls it back and he loses it. Straight turnover for Hemingford. Mitchell gets it back. Anthony Haas back into the game for Talon Payne. Clayton Schultz, James Billingsley in for Mitchell. Jimenez and Thomas exit. Placencio also exits. Near side, Cheney. Cheney, three on the way, drains it from the left wing. Third three for Mitchell in this contest, 22-11. Left side, Anthony Haas hands off to Carson. Back to Anthony. Anthony against Schultz on the left block. Underneath the basket, kicks out to Briner. And Briner going to be called for a travel. So consecutive turnovers for Hemingford as Mitchell gets it back, 22-10. James Billingsley near side. Now back to the other side of the floor for Schultz. Carson Haas just a ball hawk playing right between the two players for Mitchell. And now a foul down low. The push going to go against. My immediate reaction is Jacob Briner, and that would be correct. Second foul for Jacob. Schultz from the baseline, surveys, swings it to the corner. Cheney drives baseline, flips it to Banks. Banks between four defenders, back to the top, Billingsley. Billingsley on the left side of the lane, kicks out to Schultz. Schultz swings it inside Banks. Banks back outside, Cheney lofts a three, can't knock it down, rattles the front of the rim as Briner rips down the rebound on the right side of the lane. Now Tayton Haas split between two defenders, dives on top of a ball that got loose, and a jump ball that belongs to Mitchell. So Schultz from the baseline as Mitchell stacks it. Inside Banks, his short jumper, rattles off the iron. Anthony Haas pulled down the rebound initially, now Schultz has it. Three on the way for Clayton, can't convert. Rebounded by Coley, who came flying in. That won't go, now goes out of play, stays with Mitchell. So now Schultz has it, gets it to the top to Cheney. Cheney thought about pulling up for a three, now swings it near side. Billingsley. Billingsley drives, his left elbow jumper won't fall. To the right side it goes Coley. And now it's in the hands of Anthony Haas. Anthony hands off to Carson. Now back to Feist. Feist just inside the arc too. Rolls over the iron. Flat-footed rebound. Now Briner steals it from Coley. Briner from the left side can't convert. Now Briner gets it back again. Briner goes up a second time, and he's fouled that time. Jacob Briner a pest after the rebound to the backcourt for Mitchell. And it pays off. He's coming to the line for two, looking for his first points of the day. So first on the way for Briner. Can't convert. Jacob on the year, 58% from the charity stripe. Another on the way for Jacob. Fires straight through. 11-point advantage for Mitchell. Shot clock off. 20 seconds remaining. Billingsley. Schultz, three on the way, knocks it down from the far side. Clayton Schultz extends the lead before the half. Second three of the second. Now Anthony Haas to Zane Feist, 4 seconds. Feist falling away, knocks it down. Just 2 points for Haas. That's a long two for Zane Feist. 25-23, 12-point advantage for Mitchell as we head to the half. We're back with you to tally up your halftime numbers after this.
Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
Better sleep and better health can be found at Western Sleep Medicine in Gering. Since 2006, Western Sleep Medicine has offered the lowest cost sleep testing either in their independent sleep laboratory or the privacy of your own home. You have control over your health care and your out-of-pocket cost. All insurance is accepted for a much lower cost than the regional option. If you need a sleep study, ask for Western Sleep Medicine. They've helped thousands of people over the years and want to help you. Western Sleep Medicine. Better sleep, better health.
Tired of feeling stuck? Not sure if you are on the right track? Platte Valley Bank can help keep your finances moving forward with checking account options to fit your lifestyle and an online account chooser to make finding the right account easy. Control your financial future with helpful budgeting tools and automatic savings plans. Now is the time to enjoy the ride with Platte Valley Bank. You belong here. Looking for free instead of fees? Platte Valley Bank can help you keep your finances moving forward with no ATM fees. Whether you're headed to the lake, the mountains, or just to the grocery store, you can enjoy the freedom of free ATM access anywhere, anytime. Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
Are new windows from Renewal by Andersen a great investment? You're darn right they are. Did you know that for less than your cable bill or cell phone bill each month, you could have new windows from Renewal by Andersen right now? Do the math. Renewal by Andersen windows will likely cut your energy bills significantly. They will likely substantially increase the value of your home. They're a great investment. Please contact our team now and ask about our fantastic financing options with approved credit right now. Renewal by Andersen, a great investment? You're darn right.
This isn't just a beautiful hospital. It's the home to exceptional patient care. This is where specialty clinics meet your needs. This is where a friendly smile, a warm hand, and an empathetic ear exist to care for you. This is us. Box Butte General Hospital. Great things are happening here.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
Back with you at the half, Hemingford and Mitchell battling for third place in the WTC. Our last game before the championship matchups this evening. Let's take a look at your halftime numbers. First for Mitchell, leading the way. 6 points, Clayton Schultz. 4 for Wayman Banks. It was well distributed. 3 apiece for Michael Placencio, Creed Cheney, and Clayton Thomas. And then 2 each, Norman Coley, Xavier Galloway, and Christopher Klein. Meanwhile, Hemingford, Carson Haas has 5, and then 2 apiece for Haas. That's Tayton, then Talon Payne and Zayton Feist with 2 apiece. And 1 each for Jacob Reiner and Jace Haas in that first half of action. 4 minutes away from the start of the second half in this third place matchup. We're back with that after this.
When it comes to your health, you deserve the very best. At Morrill County Community Hospital, they provide top-notch care with compassion and expertise. From routine checkups to advanced surgeries, their dedicated team is here for you 24/7. With state-of-the-art technology and a patient-first approach, they ensure you and your loved ones receive the highest quality care. Because at Morrill County Community Hospital, your health is their priority. Visit Morrill County Community Hospital today in Bridgeport. Morrill County Community Hospital. Exceptional care right here at home.
Are you tired of being tired? Sweet Dream Sleep in Gering is ready to help you wake up feeling refreshed. Dr. Brittany Meyer provides consultation for both children and adults to identify sleep disorders such as sleep apnea, insomnia, periodic limb movement, and more. Dr. Meyer and her nurse practitioner manage treatment with follow-ups using in-person office visits and telemedicine to navigate insurance requirements. No referral is necessary. Sweet Dream Sleep Services. Better sleep, better health.
You deserve to have a building that will last for generations. With more than 110 years of experience and thousands of satisfied customers, Morton Buildings is the industry leader you can trust. If you're planning for a garage, farm shop, horse barn, storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, there's no better time to buy. Contact your local Morton sales office or visit mortonbuildings.com to get started today.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
I would definitely recommend Allo's business services to other companies. Allo's next-gen firewalls have allowed us to tie 6 physical locations together along with numerous remote employees to produce and collaborate and generate content for our local radio group. It is very important for Nebraska Rural Radio Association to have the best in internet and phone service. We rely upon that every single day. Allo provided me with a solution that fit our needs. They have a quality product, great technical support, and a local presence in their community.
It's time for the second half of action here at Cougar Palace in our boys' third place game. Hemingford and Mitchell battling. Currently a 12-point advantage for the Mitchell Tigers, as we're just about set for the second half of action here on KNB TV. 4th of 6 games today. 25-13 your score now. Just about set for the second half. Happy to have you along, KNDB TV. Kimball and Bridgeport championship matches to follow this one. Game before this was a doozy that was won in overtime by the Moore Alliance for third place on the girls' side, 57-55. And now Hemingford takes the floor. First team out there for the second half of action. It's Anthony Haas, Carson Haas, Tayton Haas, and then Talon Payne and Jacob Briner out there as well. Meanwhile for Mitchell, it's Galloway, Banks, Thomas, Cheney, and Schultz. So Hemingford now flips the floor, and they have the ball to begin the second half. Briner, straightaway three to begin the second half, and it's a miss, and a push down low goes against Hemingford, so it's going to the Mitchell side of the floor. A foul for Hemingford belongs to Talon Payne. Thomas down the floor, now in the hands of Tayton Haas. Tayton at the controls. Flips it back to Talon. Talon to Briner. Briner to Payne. Near side, Anthony Haas. Flips it to Carson. Carson. Back to Tayton. Hand off to Talon Payne. Talon drives. Now kicks out. Carson Haas. Anthony Haas. A lot of ball movement right now for Hemingford. Hand off to Talon Payne in the corner. Briner. Briner almost lost it, keeps it alive, and that's going to be a travel on Jacob Briner trying to tiptoe the baseline. So Clayton Schultz now up the floor. Shot clock resets. As Schultz now working against Carson Haas. Schultz far court pass to Cheney. Thomas up the floor. Schultz feeds Banks, snags it out of the air with one hand. Thomas back to the top, Schultz. Schultz three on the way from straight away, off the mark to the right. Briner batted it into the hands of Tayton Haas. Tayton to the corner, Talon back to Tayton. Tayton right block, kick out Payne. Now near side in the corner, Carson to Anthony. Carson with a couple of crossovers, middle of the lane, flings it to the hoop, and he'll be fouled as he goes up. That foul for Mitchell belongs to Clayton Schultz. His first as Carson Haas comes to the line for a third time today. Carson's first, falls off to the right. Carson second, straight through. 25-14. Mitchell still looking for their first points of the second half. Cheney now feeds Galloway from Schultz, and Galloway just loses it, and it's a turnover for Mitchell. Payne on the right wing. Now Anthony to Carson. A couple of crossovers from the left side. Blocked away. Galloway comes away with it. Now Clayton Thomas has it. Right wing. Left side. Schultz into the corner. Cheney back to Schultz. Now nice job by Carson Haas to slow down the ball action. Back to the outside. Schultz heaves a three from the left wing. Straight through the cylinder. Clayton Schultz, third three of the night. Tayton to Anthony. Anthony flips to Carson. Now Tayton. Tayton to Payne. Payne drives middle of the lane, lowers the shoulder, kicks back to Tayton. Tayton now outside to Briner. Briner to the hoop. Can't get it to fall. Payne put back through. Talon Payne for two. 28-16, 12-point advantage Mitchell. Back to Schultz, now to Cheney. Cheney fakes left, now drives. Cheney floater. Won't fall, falls off. Banks rips it down. And now rebounded by Thomas. Thomas three, can't knock it down. Rebounded by Galloway. Galloway's put back also won't go. Rebounded by Briner. Norman Coley, James Billingsley waiting to check in for Mitchell. Briner in the corner. Carson Haas. Anthony drives left side, and a foul going to be called on Thomas. So Clayton Thomas picks up his first. And Anthony Haas comes to the line for the first time this afternoon. Trickling into the evening. Haas is first, straight through out of his left hand. His first point of the day. Billingsley and Coley into the contest for Banks and Thomas. Anthony Haas off the back of the cup, poked around. Tate and Haas comes down with it. Hemingford. Back to Talon. Now Anthony. Carson. To the top, Tate. Talon in the corner. Near side, Anthony Haas. Now Anthony, make it Carson. Three, banks it in from the left wing. Carson Haas's first three of the day, 4 points in the second half. 8-point advantage for Mitchell. Billingsley. Billingsley to Schultz. Schultz, Galloway, Galloway. That goes out of play off the fingertips of Cheney. So Talon Payne swaps spots with Zane Feist on the bench. And Briner flips it to Tate and Haas at the controls to begin this possession for the Bobcats. Inside of 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Anthony Haas dribbles, flips over the top. Briner from the right block gets it to go. Jacob Briner's first field goal makes it a 6-point game. Christopher Klein waiting to check in for Mitchell. Cheney swings it. Billingsley, top of the arc. Billingsley into the corner. Cheney, and he's going to step on the line and go out of play. A turnover for Mitchell. Christopher Klein checks in, takes the spot of Xavier Galloway, and a timeout on the floor. Full timeout for Mitchell. We'll step aside with him. We're back after this.
Your friends at Tri-City Stormwater wants to remind you of the proper way to dispose of fallen leaves. Leaves make great mulch for trees and bushes and compost for future gardens. The city also has yard waste bins, so they can dispose of all your leaves at the city compost facility. Always keep your leaves out of the gutters. Not only do they cause clogging and flooding, they can pollute our waterways by causing nutrient overload. So keep your yard looking good and your drinking water safe, because it's our water, our responsibility.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
28-22, Hemingford and Mitchell battling here at the WTC third place game. After this is our championship matchups between Kimball and Bridgeport. To begin out of the timeout, it's Hemingford basketball. Tate and Haas at the controls for the Bobcats across midcourt. Tate flips it to Briner. Briner, middle of the lane. He's going to get held as he goes up. So a block going to be called against Mitchell on the floor. That foul belongs, I believe it was Clayton Thomas. No, check that. That's Norman Coley picking it up. So Hemingford from the baseline with Anthony Haas to trigger it in. Slaps the leather, now surveys with a hoop to his right. Flips it to the top, Jacob Briner snags it. At the attack lines where he sets up. Briner flips it back to Tate. Near side now, Anthony Haas. Anthony feeds down low, Briner, right block wide open. Lays it up and in for an easy two. Jacob Briner, 2 field goals in this third quarter. Cuts it to a 4-point Mitchell lead. Now Placencio. Haas pokes it out of his hands, and Anthony scoops up his brother still and then flings it down the court to him. Carson from the left block lays it in. Carson Haas, 2-point game in favor of Mitchell. Now Placencio across midcourt. Placencio picks up his dribble. Bounce pass to Jimenez. Now Coley back to Placencio. Placencio into the corner. Thomas dribbles, flips it. Placencio thought about straightaway three. Now he picks up his dribble, and that's going to be a travel on Michael Placencio as the back toe dragged. Only 3 points in the second quarter for Mitchell. 2:14 remaining in the third. They entered this frame leading by 11 out of the halftime break. Now just a 2-point game. Tate and Haas, hands off Briner. Briner trying to cut through 2 defenders, flips it back to Feist. Feist dribbles, drives, loses it. It's off the thigh of Feist, so it's a straight turnover for Hemingford. Placencio's at the controls. Knight gets it to Coley, out to Jimenez. Jimenez fakes right, goes left. Hard pass to Placencio. Placencio drives, picks up his dribble, kick out to Thomas. Thomas, three on the way, can't knock it down. Rebounded by an elevating Jimenez. Jimenez, right block is fouled as he goes up. He'll come to the line for 2 free ones. For Hemingford, that foul belongs to Tate and Haas as he picks up his first of the contest, working low. So early El Jimenez to the line. 54% on the season. Looking for his first points today. Jimenez won't find them there. Jimenez back, fires his second, straight through the cylinder. Back to a 3-point advantage for Mitchell. Haas right down the middle of the lane, almost uncontested, lays it in. Tate and Haas 4 points in the contest. 1-point game in favor of Mitchell still. Placencio against Carson Haas. Picks up his dribble. That pass gonna go into the bench. Mitchell turns it over. So now a chance for Hemingford to take the lead on this possession. Tatum, right block, taking control. Right block can't go, maybe partially deflected. That one, Jimenez almost had to save that one from going into the hands of the Bobcats. Slips it back to Placencio to be at the controls. Placencio across midcourt. On the far side of the floor, he sets up. Bounce pass, Coley, free throw line, kick out Thomas. Thomas, left side, Placencio. Placencio takes the dribble to the left, bounce pass down low, Klein. Klein blocked away by Briner, but a foul called. That's gonna be Jacobs' third. Inside of a minute to go in the third quarter. Xavier Galloway, Wayman Banks waiting to check in as Christopher Klein goes to the line. Talon Payne waiting to check in for Hemingford. Klein fires. Can't knock down the first. Jace Haas also in for Hemingford. Banks takes Coley's place. Galloway waiting to take Klein's place. Anthony Haas and Jacob Reiner exit for the Bobcats. Klein fires his second. That one won't go either. Banks pats it around, but it's going to be rebounded by Haas off a hop on the floor. Big man at the controls as he saunters into the front court. Tate and Haas, hands off to Payne. That ball taken away by Wayman Banks. Now Placencio. Placencio right side. Can't convert at point blank range, and that ball's going back to the Bobcats. Banks hit the ground hard, looking for a foul. Won't get it, and now Xavier Galloway will check into the contest. He'll take the place of Christopher Klein. Shot clock off for Hemingford. 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Payne, Haas, back to Payne. Now Feist. That ball almost taken away. It's going to be a foul against Placencio. Make sure that's correct at the scores table first. That is the case. That's Placencio's first. Jace Haas to trigger it in from the near sideline. Has options. Gets it to Talon Payne. Talon picks up his dribble. Now Tatum has it. Tatum at the free throw line. Kicks back. Feist driving. Gets it to Talon. Talon to the hoop with the left hand. Too strong. Hit the shot clock. Payne gets his own rebound. Rips through. And a foul going to be called on Clayton Thomas. And that sends us I believe, to the bonus. That is the case. So Clayton Thomas picks up his second. And now Hemingford has bonus shots for the last 8 seconds of this third quarter. So a chance to tie up the game for Talon Payne. Talon just 3 for 14 at the line coming into the tournament. Lefty fires, can't knock it down. Talon second on the way out of his left hand. The southpaw converts. 29-29, and they cross the line. Now they are checking it in. So a turnover for Mitchell. So now Mitchell hands it right back to Hemingford with 7.5 seconds remaining. Jace Haas to trigger it in from the baseline hoop to his right for the Bobcats. They stack it across the free throw line. Jace has to get it in. Bounce pass, and that's a 5-second violation against Jace Haas as he hands it right back to Mitchell. So now Jimenez watches his footing more closely as he checks this one in. Placencio at the controls. 5 seconds left for Mike. Placencio into the corner. Thomas for three. Clayton Thomas rolls it over the iron. It won't fall. We head to the fourth quarter, knotted up 29 apiece here in the third place game on the boys' side of things at the WTC tournament.
How can anybody concentrate with these busy schedules? Now you can. This is Ben Moravec coming to you from Hydrozen, a float therapy business right here in Scottsbluff. I'm here today to let you know we now have memberships for $49 monthly. You can guarantee yourself at least one float per month. You know how floating keeps your muscles relaxed, your joints relieved, and your brain clear to think? Now you can float at a reduced rate each month. Inquire today at hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT. Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
Knotted up as we enter the fourth quarter. Hemingford and Mitchell. Third place game at the Western Trails Conference Tournament. Happy to have you along. On the floor for Mitchell, Cheney, Schultz, Thomas, Galloway, and Banks. Meanwhile for Hemingford, Haas, Briner, Payne, and Haas. Cheney near side will get it to Schultz to begin this possession. Near side, Talon Payne tried to jump the passing lane. Galloway now wide open, left block, can't convert it point blank. Gets his own putback though, and it won't fall either. So Galloway will come to the line for freebies. Foul for Hemingford belongs to Taton Haas. Taton second, Galloway back at the line. Visited back in the first quarter, 2 for 2 in that trip. Starts this trip off sinking the first. Galloway second on the way, sinks it. 4 for 4 Xavier Galloway today at the line. 31-29, Mitchell back in front. Taton Haas to the corner, back to Payne. Payne near side. Anthony flips to Carson. Carson, pull up three on the way. Can't knock it down, batted around. Briner had it for a second, but Banks now has it. Gets it to Schultz on the outlet. Galloway, Cheney down low, trying to find Galloway. Instead it's taken away. Briner to Taton Haas. Payne now drives the baseline, lost it, poked away by Mitchell. So Carson Haas, as they stack it at the opposite block from his perspective. Briner gets it in left side, and that's going to be a push to Xavier Galloway. And that's a foul against Jacob Briner. That's his fourth. So Clayton Thomas now. after the foul. Squandered an inbounds opportunity for Hemingford. Cheney now near side, down low, Thomas. Thomas has to go off of his hands. Briner tried to scoop it up, and now that's going to be going to the Hemingford side of the floor. As Schultz was the one to touch it while it was on the line. Haas hands off to Payne, back to Tate, and it goes. Anthony Haas at the controls, hands off to Carson. Carson gets it down low to Anthony. Anthony working against Galloway. Anthony got Galloway jumping, can't trickle it in from the left side, but he'll come to the line for two as Galloway picks up his third.
On number 24, Xavier Galloway, his third.
Anthony Haas is first, off the inside of the cup and back at him. Second for Anthony, that one trickles in. 1 point advantage, Mitchell. 6:34 remaining in the final frame. Cheney's gonna hit the deck. And that ball's gonna go to Hemingford. Christopher Klein and Uriel Jimenez will check into the contest for Mitchell. They'll take the spots of Thomas and Galloway. 30-31. 1 point advantage for Mitchell. So the Bobcats on offense trying to find the lead. Carson Haas drives down the left side. Schultz cuts him off. Back to the top it goes with Tate. Tate hands back to Payne. Payne drives inside the arc, kicks back to Briner. Briner's three on the way, can't sink it off the inside of the cup. Schultz elevates for the rebound on the left side of the lane. Jimenez off of his fingertips into the stands. He goes and Mitchell turns it over. Anthony Haas again, a flip to Carson Haas begins this possession. Tate Haas really thought hard about that college three. Now he'll pull it back at the free throw line. Looking for an outlet, gotta get it to somebody, hands to Briner. Briner splits defenders towards the hoop, he goes. Rebounded by Schultz, who's been a machine on that left side of the lane in the rebounding department. Schultz gets by Carson Haas. Down into the corner, Cheney drives around his defender, lowers the shoulder, up and easy off the glass for Creed Cheney. Creed Cheney's up to 5 in the contest. Last points came back in the second on a three-pointer. Tate Haas far side. Tate jumper on the way, can't knock down the three. Briner rips down the rebound, and now Briner can't get it to fall, poked around, rebounded by Mitchell. Schultz once again on the left side of the lane. Schultz into the corner, Jimenez takes the baseline. Poked away by Briner, Briner's out of play, so Mitchell keeps it. Norman Coley into the contest. Michael Placencio as well takes the place of Banks. Feist into the contest for Hemingford. Schultz out. Payne out for Feist on the Hemingford side. Now Jimenez from the baseline gets it to Cheney, poked away. Tate Haas comes away with it. Tate takes a couple of dribbles, two defenders collapse on him, gets away, flips it to Anthony Haas. 3 point advantage for Mitchell as Hemingford returns to offense. Inside Anthony Haas. Anthony Haas right side, can't convert, into the hands of Placencio after it was batted around on the rebound. Inside of 5 minutes to play, Placencio all the way to the iron, can't convert, poked around, rebounded by Zane Feist, and a jump ball goes back to Hemingford. Tate Haas into the front court. Tate looking for the iron, kicks out, three on the way. Carson Haas knocks it down to tie the game. 33-33, Carson connects. First three of the fourth for Hemingford. Now Placencio into the corner. Klein looking inside. Coley back outside. Jimenez, his three on the way. Jimenez can't answer, rebounded by Anthony Haas. Up the floor to Carson. He has numbers working with Feist. cuts it back to the right block, and that's going to be a block against Jimenez. So Earliel picks up his first. Carson Haas to the line. So Carson Haas back to the stripe, been there 3 times today. 4 for 6 so far. First on the way. Haas can't connect. 4 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Carson 40% from this mark, knocks into second. Now Placencio up the far side of the floor. 2 defenders is who he runs into. Screen from Coley, takes it. Now into the hands. Cheney, corner Jimenez, his 3 on the way. Jimenez leaves it long right into the lap of Carson Haas. Make it Anthony Haas on the rebound. Now Tayton Haas splits defenders. Tayton down the right side, lowers the shoulder. That's going to be a block against Jimenez. Uriel Jimenez can't believe it. And he pops back to his feet after picking up his second foul. So Tayton Haas to the line. So a 3-point advantage for Hemingford. Wayman Banks, Xavier Galloway re-enter for Coley and Klein. Schultz also back in. And now Schultz will check in for Jimenez. Tayton's first and only after the and one. Falls off, but Anthony Haas with the rebound, and a hold going to go against Clayton Schultz, I believe. Yes, that is the case. So 3-point advantage for Hemingford remains, and they're still on offense. So Anthony Haas from the baseline gets it out to Briner. Briner surveys now to Tayton. Tayton on the right wing brings it to straightaway. Brings it back to his right. Hands off to Briner on a flip. Briner almost lost it, pulls it back out. Now Tayton has it again. Tayton back to Briner. Had a look at 3, didn't take it. Now Galloway to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Check that Briner to the hoop, and he's fouled by Banks as he goes up. So Wayman picks up his second foul. Jacob Briner to the line for a second time today. And a timeout for head coach Brennan Vogel of Hemingford. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here as Hemingford uses their 3rd timeout. 36-33 your score. Cougar Palace started to fill in, getting set for the championship games that follow this between Bridgeport and Kimball. Girls lead the way, followed by the boys to wrap up the night and the tournament weekend. So on the floor for Mitchell out of the timeout, Placencio, Thomas, Banks, Schultz, and Galloway. Placencio swapped for Cheney at the last second. Still out there for Hemingford is Briner, Haas, and Feist. 36-33 in favor of Hemingford. Inside of 4 minutes to play in the fourth. Briner's freebie on the way. Swirls and drops. 6 points for Jacob Briner in the affair. 37-33. Briner's next, straight through. Thomas got Carson to jump. Now looking for an outlet. Gets it across the floor to Schultz. Has to haul it in with one hand over his shoulder. Now to Cheney in the corner. Fires a 3. Can't get it to go. Anthony Haas tracks down the rebound. Anthony sprints and slows as he crosses midcourt. 38-33 your score. 5-point advantage Hemingford. Just 8 points for Mitchell in this second half. Feist, free throw line, trying to split defenders, and he's fouled as he goes up. So Zane Feist now to the line for Hemingford. Clayton Schultz, he picks up his third. Zane Feist at the line for the first time today. Has a bucket to his name, 3 for 5 coming into the tournament. Not a whole lot of attempts for Zane. Second on the way for Zane, off the inside of the cup. Feist with another on the way. Can't connect on the pair. Galloway rips down the rebound. Thomas now into the front court. Near sideline, flips it to Banks. Banks back out to Thomas. Thomas loses it, got it back. And now there's going to be a foul against Tayton Haas or Zane Feist, one of the two, as both their hands were in there. They're going to give that to Tayton. Third foul for Tayton Haas. Clayton Schultz has it from the baseline now for Mitchell. Schultz to the top, Cheney, catch and release 3 for Creed. It was blocked by Carson Haas. Banks gets it, can't put it back, and Briner comes away with it. Anthony Haas almost lost it in the backcourt. Now he's coming this way. Far side of the floor. Tayton Haas. Tayton. Anthony flips to Carson. Carson steps into a 3. Can't knock it down. Ball ripped out of the sky by Wayman Banks. 5-point advantage for Hemingford. That pass intercepted in the backcourt as Tayton Haas is there to cut it off. You just heard Carson Haas say it. Don't shoot. And now Wayman Banks will be called for a foul after picking the pocket of Tayton Haas. And in the bonus, Tayton Haas will come to the line. So Wayman Banks picks up his third.
Defensive foul number 42, Wayman Banks his third. That'll send Tayton Haas to the free throw line for Bobcats.
Tayton fires his first. Can't go. Talon Payne for Zane Feist. Talon second on the way. It trickles through. Make that Tayton second, excuse me. Schultz at the controls, 5-point make it a 6-point advantage for Hemingford now after that free throw make. Mitchell, just 8 points in the second half, looking for some as Thomas flings one, won't go. Rebounded by Schultz. Schultz from the left side, also can't convert. Ball still being poked around. Galloway scoops it up. Galloway under the hoop, and he'll be fouled. See who that goes against. So Galloway's coming to the line. If it's Briner, and I believe it is, that's Jacob Briner's 5th as he fouls out. So Briner exits with 1:26 remaining in the fourth quarter. And Zane Feist will come back into the contest and take his place. So Xavier Galloway now enters. Four for 4 is Xavier Galloway from the stripe. Immune to the announcer's jinx on the first. Mitchell clawing their way back. Less than a minute and a half remaining. Second on the way from Galloway's right hand, sinks the pair. And now a timeout quickly called. It's a full timeout. We step aside with them.
Better sleep and better health can be found at Western Sleep Medicine in Gering. Since 2006, Western Sleep Medicine has offered the lowest cost sleep testing either in their independent sleep laboratory or the privacy of your own home. You have control over your health care and your out-of-pocket cost. All insurance is accepted for a much lower cost than the regional option. If you need a sleep study, ask for Western Sleep Medicine. They've helped thousands of people over the years and want to help you. Western Sleep Medicine. Better sleep.
Final minute and a half here at Cougar Palace between Hemingford and Mitchell. Championships matchups await after this one. Kimball and Bridgeport. 4-point advantage for Hemingford out of the timeout. For Mitchell, it's Schultz, Cheney, Thomas, Galloway, and Banks, the starters. And for Hemingford, it's Payne, Haas, and Feist. Jacob Briner just fouled out. Before that timeout, Feist will trigger it in from the baseline. Feist gets it to Anthony Haas. Anthony now up the floor to Tatum. Tatum splits defenders, keeps his dribble, flips out to Carson. Carson, and now a foul going against Xavier Galloway. So Xavier will pick up his fourth. And Carson Haas to the line with a bonus.
Fouls on number 24 for the Tigers, Xavier Galloway, that's his fourth.
Free throws 9 and 10 on the way for Carson Haas. Knocked down 5 of them so far, make it 6. Carson another out of his hand, won't go, left it short. Talon Payne rips down the rebound, and Xavier Galloway quickly picks up his 5th as Xavier Galloway will now exit. So Galloway will exit with 1:15 remaining. So Christopher Klein will check in and take his place. So Talon in this contest, 1 for 2 at the line. Back in the third quarter. His second trip, fires, knocks it down off the glass. Payne second, rattles and falls into the lap of Christopher Klein. Schultz crosses over. Now Thomas. Thomas drives baseline. Back to the top it goes with Schultz. Schultz, college three, can't knock it down. And that ball going to be poked away by Wayman Banks. It'll go back to Hemingford. .41-35, 6-point advantage. Hemingford, exactly a minute left to play. Feist to Payne, almost lost it, kept it. And now he's going to get tied up with Klein, and that's going to be a push going against Hemingford, as Talon Payne's going to be called for it. So Payne picks up his second, and that sends Mitchell into the bonus. So Talon Payne picks it up, it's his second. Christopher Klein now at the line. Klein missed both of his back in the third quarter in his only visit. Klein's first. Trickles through. Died off the back of the cup and fell through the iron. 5-point advantage now for Hemingford. Second out of Klein's right hand, sinks it. 4-point advantage for Hemingford. And now foul in the backcourt on Wayman Banks against Talon Payne. That's Wayman's fourth. And Tatum Haas comes to the opposite end. Tatum Haas, 1 for 3 in this fourth quarter. Tatum makes the first. Back to a 5-point lead. Tatum flings another. Can't knock down the pair, but makes the first. And now a foul. Or a turnover, and it's going to go back to Hemingford. So now Hemingford underneath the hoop. Anthony Haas will get it in. Anthony looking inside, nothing there. Now gets it up to Carson Haas. Tatum Haas just said just waste time, and that's what they're going to do as Talon Payne is fouled by Creed Cheney. First foul for Creed. As Talon Payne to the line now. Second visit of the fourth quarter. Third visit overall. 2 for 4. 3 for 5. Payne second on the way. Converts the pair. 7-point advantage, Hemingford. Schultz far side. Schultz to Banks, overthrew him, and Schultz disappointed. 38.5 seconds left to play in this one. Zane Feist on the near side to trigger it in. Feist gets it in to Anthony Haas. Beautiful pass from Feist, and now Schultz will foul. That's Clayton's fourth. 36.5 seconds remaining. 1.5 second difference between shot and game clock, as Anthony Haas now down to the line. Anthony 2 for 4 in this contest. His first on the way, can't knock it down. Anthony sinks the second. Up to 3 points in the contest. Schultz now at midcourt. And that ball going to stay with Mitchell after it was deflected. Exactly a 1 second difference between shot and game clock now. Banks has it, flings a three. Wayman connects from the left wing. Just the fourth make coming into the tournament on the season for Wayman Banks. And now a timeout for Mitchell. It's full timeout. We step aside with it.
Tired of feeling stuck? Not sure if you are on the right track? Platte Valley Bank can help keep your finances moving forward with checking account options to fit your lifestyle and an online account chooser to make finding the right account easy. Control your financial future with helpful budgeting tools and automatic savings plans. Now is the time to enjoy the ride with Platte Valley Bank. You belong here. Looking for free instead of fees? Platte Valley Bank can help you keep your finances moving forward with no ATM fees. Whether you're headed to the lake, the mountains, or just to the grocery store, you can enjoy the freedom of free ATM access anywhere, anytime. Platte Valley Bank. You belong here.
After the Mitchell timeout, Hemingford has it. After the Wayman Banks three to make it a 5-point game with 25.5 seconds remaining. Shot clock will be off as Zane Feist triggers it in. Feist gets it to Carson Haas, and Creed Cheney will pick up his second. To the opposite end of the floor we go as Carson Haas will fling some free throws. Jace Haas will check in after this first free throw. Carson at the line, fires, left it short. Jace will enter for Zane Feist. Carson back for his second. Can't knock it down, left the ball short. Tayton Haas rips down the rebound though for Hemingford. He'll just dribble all around, wasting as much time as he can. Now it's Creed Cheney picking up his third as they catch up with him. So now Tayton Haas at the line. 19 seconds remaining. Norman Coley, oh, check that, Clayton Schultz picked up that foul, so he fouls out of the contest with 19 seconds remaining. So Tayton back, fires his first, knocks it down. Tayton second on the way. Falls off to the right. Payne, and he's going to be out of play. It's going to go back to Mitchell. Banks goes behind his back. The big man rumble into the hoop. Cheney three on the way. He left it short. Coley underneath, almost had it. Now Carson Haas pulls it away. 7 seconds. Carson splits defenders. Now he just pulls it back, won't go for the hoop. Flips it back to Jace Haas. And with 6 seconds remaining, Hemingford does it. They win their second game over Mitchell this year, 46-40, to take third place in the Western Trails Conference tournament. We'll step aside, tally it up. We're back after this.
Are new windows from Renewal by Andersen a great investment? You're darn right they are. Did you know that for less than your cable bill or cell phone bill each month, you could have new windows from Renewal by Andersen right now? Do the math. Renewal by Andersen windows will likely cut your energy bills significantly. They will likely substantially increase the value of your home. They're a great investment. Please contact our team now and ask about our fantastic financing options with approved credit right now. Renewal by Andersen, a great investment? You're darn right.
This isn't just a beautiful hospital. It's the home to exceptional patient care. This is where specialty clinics meet your needs. This is where a friendly smile, a warm hand, and an empathetic ear exist to care for you. This is us. Fox Butte General Hospital. Great things are happening here.
Back with you to round out the third place game. Let's take a look at your final numbers as Hemingford takes third place, 46-40 over Mitchell. Hemingford was led by the 14 points of Carson Haas, 9 from Tayton Haas, 7 from Jacob Reiner, 6 from Talon Payne, 2, I'm going to make it 3 from Anthony Haas, 2 from Zane Feist, and a single from Jace Haas. Meanwhile, for the Mitchell Tigers, they were led with the 9 points of Clayton Schultz and his 3 threes, and then scoring went stagnant in the second half. 7 points for Raymond Banks, 6 for Xavier Calloway, 5 for Creed Cheney, 4 for Christopher Klein, 3 apiece for Michael Placencio, Clayton Thomas, and 2 for Norman Coley, and a single for Uriel Jimenez. Again, Hemingford wins it 46-40 to take third place in the Western Trails Conference Tournament. We'll step aside and get you set up for the first championship matchup of the night between Kimball and Bridgeport here on KNEB TV.